Joe with Beaver Bros Tree and Landscape Service. I'm the Captain Beaver, and I'm here to explain today about how we cut with a saw specifically to save the chain and to save the needle points on the ends of the chain. This is how you tell if this razor is going to make it through the wood by testing this. It should be sharp like a needle, and this is a raker right next to it, which after this cuts the shaving, the raker or gap will haul it out and throw it out. So the key to keeping these razors sharp and to making your blades last, especially when deadheading, which is where you cut and reduce a tree to the last remaining portion of stump, that's probably the last cut to go right flush to the ground. So we're going to pretend like this is our top cut, our deadheading, and this is how we're supposed to perform a deadhead. You want to enter the cut, and I could now go all the way through, but you can see that the saw is going to bog down, and you can see right here when we're getting all the weight of the entire stump to press down and smush this blade, it's not going to cut very effectively. It will cut, however, it's very hot, it's very hard, and it's not very fast. So the inertia of the chain is what carries it through the cut. So it's really hard for people to comprehend that these 10 or 15 small razors, imagine a razor on your face, except they're just this big. They're not very big at all. And yet they cut wood, something very, very hard, not like hair on a human's face. So the way to do this is to edge your saw in and then wrap around. And what I want to do is I want to take all the parts that are easy and lightweight where the wood is not smashing, because the wood is supported here while I'm cutting here. And I'm making it like this, and I'm keeping the blade about the width of the blade outside of the saw. So that's my objective, is to cut around that. And I'm going to continue to work around, and obviously I wouldn't be cutting like this. I'd be moving with knees with the saw. And I'd be cutting like this, and I'd be cutting like this. And when I got to the end, then I know that the center is the only thing left. So then I'm going to come in where I had before, and I'll set the ears. These are called dog ears. And you set the ears in the wood, and then I'm going to come in and I begin to complete the cut until the saw starts to bog. Now I know that the saw is getting hot. I know that the weight of the full stump is now on it. So I'm going to come behind it. I'm going to tap a small wedge in. Now we've got a small wedge to support the weight for the saw to complete the cut. And you top your top off. That is how you will save more blade and more chains to last longer on job sites than a normal conditioned way of cutting, where you just stick the saw in and try to complete a cut. Not only that, you also have situations where we get into big trees.
Well, that's what I was thinking is that particular chunk right there is probably a DIY tree that most people will want to cut.
Right.
That is not typical,
right.
Something that people have us cut, unless it's really tall.
That's true.
Now, this is a quarter of a stump here, and this is literally a pizza slice. It's a pizza slice of one stump. That's what we use, something like this, and Joe will tell you about this saw.
So this is the same basic principle. This is Stihl's 661 model. So this is the biggest model that they have. That is a regular commercial saw. They have an 880. Those are pretty rare. I've seen 990s or 990 AVs, which are slightly bigger but a little more heavy. This saw is like probably, I think it's fully equipped, I want to say about 30 or 32 pounds. It's got 5.6 or 7 horse in the head. The head itself is like about an $1,800 head. The blades, the blade or the bar to hold the chain, this bar is probably like $150 to $200, and these chains are probably $60 to $80, depending on where you get them. But you've got a whole lot more points. The teeth themselves are actually bigger, so you can see that you have many more needles and bigger rakers and bigger spaces to carry bigger chunks out. So this saw operates faster. It has more power. It's less likely to get bogged down. When you're going to do or perform a cut that is substantially bigger wood, to get through the weight of that compression, pinching the blade, you're going to need a saw that actually has more power. it will equate to cutting a thicker diameter wood. These are the dog ears, and you can see they're quite a bit different than the other plastic dog ears.
Spin them sideways for them.
Cheap top handle saw.
There you go.
These are really critical because they allow you to set it into the wood, and these are what you're using as leverage, top and bottom, to make the saw perform one way or the other. So you're using this as a fulcrum point in engineering, and you're going to pull against it. I would still, the principle for cutting that I just explained in the do-it-yourself video with a smaller stump is the same application I would use for this saw on, say, a stump that's 77 inches. This is a 32-inch bar and a almost 6-horse head. That obviously will not cut 77 inches. So how do you do that? Well, you round it out just like I showed you on the do-it-yourselfer, but a larger size version of that. And this is still, again, the saw that's going to get parts in the middle. And you come in for 3 or 4 sweeping cuts, and you'll need wedges for all of those as well to make sure that once you plunge the saw in, you can support the wood with the wedge and let the saw continue, pound the wedge, saw continue, pound the wedge, take your top off. So that's pretty much in a nutshell.
And if you're in southeastern Wisconsin and you need a tree that needs a saw like that, and you're scared of doing it yourself, who do you call?
You give the beavers a call.
What's the number?
608-501-8499. Give me a call and we'll come out and we'll take a look at your trees or give you some advice to be able to handle it on your own. If it's a do-it-yourself job and you just say, that's a lot of work, we'll do that too. We'll put in the labor, we'll put in the effort, we'll treat your home like our own.
Dramatic silence. I like it.